Hi, I'm Danazeez, light heavyweight Southern Area champion, and you're watching Shadowboxruk with the lovely Jackie.
So as you've heard, hi, I'm here at the Peacock Gym with Danazeez. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been a while. Was meant to do this for quite a long time ago, but yeah, you finally got me. It's a pleasure being on here.
It's been actually playing hard to get, to be honest with you, Dan. Let's come on now. Let's stop your nonsense.
Nah, you got me at the right time. You know, got a big fight for me. Well, my biggest fight coming up to date. So yeah, everything's timing, and yeah, you got me at the right time.
So you're actually going to fight in 2 weeks' time, is it? Well, just under 2 weeks' time on the 14th. Scheduled to box Lawrence Asaki for the English title. But let's go back to the beginning to start off with. You were a late bloomer, started boxing at uni. What was your sort of main motivation, though, for getting actually into boxing?
I think, well, I've said it loads of times, yeah, I used to watch YouTube highlights of like David Hay, Roy Jones, and the highlights used to look so, because I used to think boxing was just crash bang wallop. You know, you got the people like Mike Tyson, he just used to knock people out. Even Prince Nassim, like, I remember him, and he just used to lay people out. And I remember watching them, and they made it look like an art. I used to think, wow, this looks really sexy. Like, fucking hell, look at the way he's like knocking him out, how he's slipping. And I said, I want to try this. So I went down to the gym, my local gym in Colchester. So let me try this out. And it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. Like, there was more to just throwing punches and having a fight. And then, yeah, I remember I just got beaten up, like, by this skinny, scrawny kid. I thought, yeah, nah, I got to learn this. Like, I can't even defend myself. For some reason, I just thought, yeah, because I used to fight a lot, like, growing up in my area and stuff. And I thought, yeah, I could handle my own. But when I got in the ring, it was different. It's an art. So I was thinking, it just made me think, oh, I can't even defend myself. Like, imagine I got into a brawl with a boxer, like, I'll just get smashed in. So that was my motivation to, all right, let's learn this sport. Let's learn this. Like, let me learn my craft. And yeah, that's what got me in the gym, and I started learning boxing.
What's nice, though, is your influence was quite old school and quite unorthodox. So David Hay, Prince Nassim, who was actually one of my favourites. Yeah. And I've noticed that you carried this style through to the way that you were, your ring attire. Mm-hmm. Is it that you kind of attribute a nod to these people? Yeah,
100%, man. I love the old school boxers, and like you said, I do attribute my attire, things like my attire. Like, my favourite fighter is Hagler, and I just love the way he used to wear the high knee socks, the short shorts, velvet. And it's not just him that used to wear. A lot of them old 80s boxers used to wear it like that, and I just like it, man. Something about the old school, man, it's just more raw, and I just like it. Yeah, so
that's one thing I like, is your attire is just simple, but it's like, I don't know, it's cool. Yeah, it's retro. I think that's that's the word we're looking for. So you turned over in 2017, trained by Brian O'Shaughnessy. Were you ever with him as an amateur? Because he was a coach or is a coach, I should say, at West Ham, isn't he?
Yeah, I think my last couple of years as an amateur, I was training with him. So maybe for about 2 years into my last amateur years, I was training with him, because obviously when I was at uni, I was training up with them a lot. But then after you finish uni, you're back down at London, so I ain't gonna keep going up to Colchester. So yeah, I just remember I went down TKO, because that's where he was at the time, and I remember there was something unorthodox about him. I said, I like the way this guy's like doing the pads or his training style. And I said, oh, do you mind like training me one day? And then from there, yeah, we ain't looked back.
That's nice. You had a short amateur career. You've come into the pro scene. You know, you seem to have a good following. How have you managed to get your name out there?
I think I just, you know, they're saying charity starts from home. So I think just around my local community, like, I get involved with the local amateur clubs, you know, go and help support them. So it's like they just return the favour, like, oh yeah, Dan comes, watches us box and whatnot, and then they come. My local community, like I said, just restaurants and stuff. Like, I'm quite well known around the area, so yeah, everyone just wants to get behind me and sees my drive. You know, they'll see me jogging, like just doing the extra. So they see me putting the hard work in and see that they can see I'm genuine. So I think that's what most people like, and yeah, they just want to follow the journey and see how far I can go. So, but it's good. It is good, and I really do appreciate it, because coming up the small hall scene, it's not easy at all, man. You know, you got to sell tickets just to box, like, and if you can't do that, then you don't get to box. And I've only been a pro coming up to 2 years now, and this is going to be my 11th fight fighting for the English title. So I've been out quite busy, and again, you always have to have that support to help you, like pay for opponents to box and whatnot. So yeah, I really do appreciate it, and I guess, like I said, I think people can see the authenticity, you know what I mean? And like, it's not an act, it's not a gimme. I do put everything into boxing. I'm here every day at the Peacocks, and yeah, people just want to see me do well, so I really do appreciate it.
What is really great to hear, that there's still that community thing going on where, you know, the amateur side, you know, watch you, follow you through to your pro scene, and then support you upwards and onwards. That was very much something that used to happen all the time. But, you know, how important do you think also the other aspect of things like social media? So sometimes people use it as a derogatory term, as in calling social media boxers. But, you know, how important do you think it is for the modern day boxer to promote themselves?
All right. It's very, very important. I'm not really a social media guy, but in this day and age, you can't just be a good boxer. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not like the old times where, you know, you get a lot of boxers even this day saying, you know, I'll just let my skills do the talking and what. Nah, no one cares about that these days. You actually have to promote yourself, and especially if you're coming from the small hall scene, you have to get yourself out there. If you don't promote yourself, no one ain't going to promote yourself. The only people that I get in the that maybe don't have to go through all of that is obviously maybe your Olympians and whatnot, and you got to look at KSI and whatnot. They made more money than a lot of the best boxers out there, like even world champions and stuff, and that's just the following. And this is the day and age you got to live in, that we're living in. You know, you either, you know, follow what's going on now, otherwise you'll just be there in a, you know, in the back somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So coming back to your question, it's very important to get yourself out there, use social media as a tool to push yourself out there, and if you've got the skills, why not? If you can back it up in the ring, why not? So yeah, it's a very, very important thing, and I'll tell a lot of boxers nowadays, if you ain't an Olympian, if you ain't been on GB, if you ain't won no ABAs, if you ain't got that amateur pedigree, but you want to get into the pros and you think you're good enough, you definitely have to push as well. Don't just think, I'm going to get in the ring and, yeah, people are going to watch me and follow me. It doesn't work like that. You have to build a following for yourself. You have to get yourself out there. If you ain't going to do it, no one ain't going to do it. So, yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why we started this Shadowbox UK, because we did notice that people, if you didn't have a quote-unquote big name, it was near impossible to get yourself out there. But you seem to have really grasped the business side of it. I mean, I've seen you put out flyers and stuff like that. I mean, was that you, or did you learn that from someone else?
No, it's, do you know what? It's just my mates around me, you know, like, because to be fair, I was quite naive, like, I can't be asked, like, look, I just want to box, train. But that doesn't get you anywhere. It don't get you on the big shows. It don't get you fighting for titles. It don't get you on the big platforms that you need to be on, where, you know, you don't have to sell tickets and stuff like that. So the people around me, you know, they'll say, yeah, you're fighting, let's get some flyers made, just put them out on the seats, just get your name out there. And so a lot of us boxers were very prideful. I don't want to do that and whatnot, but it's not about that, man. Do you know what I mean? If you want to excel in your career, you have to go that extra mile and do what other people ain't doing. Like, and at the end of the day, you only get one career and you got to push. So, because I'm not gonna lie, I used to be like, I don't really want to make too much noise. Just let me check. But nah, it just doesn't. The amount of stuff, like stress we do in the gym, training, it's not worth just being silent and not making noise and getting your name out there, man. And that's the thing. My friend one time, I remember we was giving out flyers at a concert, And I just wanted to go home after training, and I was like, bro, let's just go home, man. He was like, listen, Dan, I need people to see how hard you're working, and, you know, you're putting in the work. They need to see it. And that's when it was clicked for me. You know what? It's real, man. I train my butt off, man. So why not let people see what I'm doing?
Effectively, it is a business, isn't it?
Yep.
So with that, what are the other 5 most important things that a boxer should consider when turning professional?
Okay. One thing is sponsors. If you want to put in as much as you can and you want to actually make boxing your 9 to 5, you have to be realistic. You also have to earn money, so you need a backing. You need some sort of financial backing. So I'll definitely try and just go around even your local areas, like, you know, speak to local shop owners, say, listen, I'm a boxer, I'm up and coming, I just need a bit of help here and there. So yeah, sponsors is very, very important. Again, just try and build a following. Make sure you got the right people around you. Definitely stay consistent, just always train. What else I'm trying to think, because I know once I finish this I'm going to think, why didn't I say that? Because there are key things that are important when you're turning over. And what else would I think? Yeah, you're just making sure you eat and sleep right. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to be a bit controversial here. What about contracts? Is that something that you guys should consider as professionals? Because I have been quite surprised that a lot of boxers don't, A, properly read their contracts, and B, have it legally looked at. I mean, give me your thoughts on that.
100%. Do you know what? That would have been one of the 5 things that I would have said, like, have someone that can look over these things. Because, to be fair, most of us boxers, not to sound so stereotypical, we just want to box. Like, someone might come to us and say, yeah, we got this deal or whatnot, we'll just sign it. But really and truly, you should have someone that looks over it and is looking at your best interests. Do you know, a lot of us were quick to just sign like a 3-year deal or 2-year deal with something, and then later on down the line you think, oh, I didn't even read this, like, I didn't even know it said this, I didn't even know it said that. So yeah, definitely reading contracts. Even if you ain't gonna do it, get somebody else to try and look over it for you, because you don't want it to be later down the line in your career, it come and bites you in the arse. So yeah, definitely don't rush things, take your time. So yeah, that's a very good point.
I mean, effectively, you know, it is an investment, isn't it? It's an investment into your business. So let's fast forward now and talk about your Southern Area title fight against Charlie Duffield. I guess that you really proved that you were the real deal that day, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely, man, because it's funny because Charlie boxes here, he trains here. So he's a good boxer, and I remember him from the amateurs as well. When I got into the amateurs, he was one of the top, like, light heavies. I remember him getting to the ABA finals. He used to even be trained by my trainer, Brian O'Shaughnessy. So that was the day that, yeah, I had to show that, okay, I'm at that level, because, like I said, he trains here, and Charlie's a big puncher as well. I've seen him, like, lay people out here. So although we'd never sparred, imagine I'm seeing that, and, like, I'm thinking, oh, this guy, like, bloody hell, like, he can. So, like you said, I just had to rise to the occasion and show that, okay, yeah, I'm one of the big boys too. So I guess that was kind of my announcement onto the stage. Yeah, it was a very good fight.
Yeah, and to be fair, for you to go from a small hall fighter to this big stage, I mean, you really did. You really did produce. I mean, you were consistently strong, powerful, lovely dips, and then throwing that right hand off the back of it, kept catching him with that backhand uppercut. I mean, I'm guessing, like, you saw the eye open. There must have been part of you or that wanted to just, like, get it over and done with. Is it difficult in that situation to, like, just stay on the game plan, stay on the game plan? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. Especially on, like, that kind of that kind of stage, yeah, it's definitely easy for you to just get carried away or lose your focus. But yeah, like you said, Brian, like my coach Brian, he's very, very chilled and calmed, and I think that makes me chilled and relaxed. Like, that's why I like having him in a corner. He's not too over, oh, you got to do this, and you go, yeah, fight, like, come on, he's just very relaxed, and it makes me very relaxed, like, and that's why we really gel. And as the rounds is going on, he's just, just stay nice and calm, keep doing this, keep doing that, all right, just stay away from that. And as the rounds got on, like, you could just see, like, little things were just clicking and the pieces to the puzzle were just coming together, and then ultimately we got the end result, which was a stoppage. So yeah,
massive performance coming from a small hall boxer. I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. You get this opportunity, you're on the stage, and then literally you were letting your hands go, beautiful dips, throwing backhands to the, rocking him, uppercuts. I mean, did it feel like the jigsaw puzzle was like all the pieces were coming into play?
Yeah, I guess so. Do you know what? I just needed a good dancing partner to show it. Because, like when you're fighting on a small hall, a lot of these guys, they're not coming to win, So they're sometimes harder to fight because they're just there to survive. So it's harder to open them up. They're just literally there to... When you got someone that's coming to take your head off, that's when you see the gaps, the openings are there, and it allowed me to, like you said, the jigsaw just came together, like, it allowed me to show a lot of the stuff that I've been working with my trainer, and show that I could actually box, because a lot of people just think, yeah, he's just physically strong, and yeah, but I can box a bit, and I got to give thanks to Brian, because I couldn't box before. I was just this crash bang wall up guy, so yeah. Big up to Charlie, man, because he's a tough guy as well. Took some really heavy shots, and he allowed me to flow, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely beautiful to see you to be able to open up like that, and like you say, the flow. And those little moments where you seem to be really enjoying yourself. I mean, obviously not so enjoyable for Charlie, but I mean, really was beautiful to watch. Talking about, being here, being at the Peacock Gym, I mean, it must be quite an amazing thing to be surrounded by this much talent.
Yeah, and it's not even... There is talent, but the guys are hungry. No one here is made it. Like, do you know what I mean? No one's no superstar. Everyone here, they're hungry. So it's like you're just surrounded by just dogs, like they're on it. So you have to become one yourself as well. You can't come here all, I'm just... fraffing about. You got to work, because everyone around you is working. Everyone's energy rubs off on you. So that's one good thing about here, the Peacocks. There's a lot of young, hungry, talented fighters. So yeah, it's really good, and you feed off their energy, man.
You can totally see that, but on the flip side, is it difficult to kind of really do what you want to do? So do you have to hold back sometimes? Can't show everybody everything because you never know who's watching?
Yeah. Do you know, to be fair, the guys here, everyone knows each other, to be fair. So, like, there's not really many people I'm going to fight. The only person maybe, okay, Andre boxes here. He's a light heavyweight as well, but we spar all the time, like, so it's not really much you can really hide from anyone. Like, but like you said, I understand what you're saying. Like, there's a lot of people here, like, you never... and it's more if people pop in and whatnot. Yeah, it's more if when people pop in and whatnot. But either way, you got to get the job done anyway. So it is what it is.
So I understand you have a great relationship with Buatsi, who's been a kind of mentor to you. He could be a potential opponent in the future. I mean, that must be a blessing to work with somebody of that calibre. I mean, has that really pushed you on as well?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Not just Josh, Dwayne as well, Dwayne Sinclair, his coach, Mark Giuseppe. They're a lovely bunch of lads, and when I go there and I work with them, it's not even just about, we're just getting rounds in. They're one of the only few people I can go down there, spar, and I'm learning. Each coach would be there as well, like telling me, Dan, you need to do this, you need to not do that. you're too upright. You're too like most of the time when you go places to spar, they don't really care about you. You're just there as the opponent. But that is one group that I can say, yeah, I can go down there. I'm in good hands. Like you said, even though Josh is younger than me, he's got so much experience. He's a brilliant fighter. And like I said, I could be doing rounds with him, and he was done. Like, you should try this. And I've learned a lot from him, and working with him has brought me on heaps and bounds. I love going down there. Him, Dwayne as well. Dwayne, I remember watching when I started boxing. Dwayne was another one. He was another one of the top light heavies as well. So that whole camp there, I got a lot of love for, and my progress, I can attribute it some to a lot working with them as well. So yeah, definitely it's really, really good.
And that's kind of unusual as well, that another professional, not so much maybe in the amateur game, but another professional would actually, you know, assist you in your rise to the top. I mean, yeah, I think that's a fantastic thing. Talking about your mates' dressing room, fight night, you know, you've got your mates there, you've got your family there, you've got your trainers there. Obviously, the further up the ladder you get, the more people are going to be around you. How do you then get into that zone?
To be fair, when like changing room times, it's just the same people. Like the people that were there when I first turned pro, that's the same people that I keep in the change room. That same energy. That's what I want to be surrounded by, and that's only like maybe two, three people and my coach, and that's about it. Maybe the odd other person, but yeah. Like, you know, like you said, as you're going up the ladder, more people want to, come back. But nah, I just keep it plain and simple. I like to, you know the saying, if it's not not broken, don't fix it. So I just like to keep the same people around me. And, and just that's what keeps me nice and focused. And, you know, you don't want, as you're going up, you're getting all these other people like coming around and just being cheerleaders and whatnot. Nah, you just got to stay focused, because at the end of the day, it's you that goes into the ring. You can't take 1,000 people into the ring with you. It's just you, so you got to keep that same mentality.
And then, you know, you doing that walk to the ring. I mean, what is it that gets you motivated? Is there a fear factor? Is it a bit of excitement, adrenaline? Yeah. What is it that kind of gets you to flick that switch?
Whenever I'm making that walk to the ring, you know what? All I just think about is there's nothing that motivates me or like gets me excited. It's just literally, let's get the job done. It's afterwards, once I've won, and then I'm celebrating with my supporters and whatnot. That's when I'm like excited and I'm motivated. It's weird after the fight. Literally before the fight, going into the fight, it's just, let's get the job done. There's no hoo-ha, no party, not in my head anyway. Like, people around me might be like, yeah, but me, it's just, you know, I got this opponent, he's in the way, we just got to get the job done. It's nothing personal, unless I don't like you, because there are some boxers I don't like. But apart from, look at you, you want to get the exclusive? No, I'm joking. But I'm just saying, like, if there was somebody that I didn't like, then maybe, you know, you might have that extra, like, yeah, I want to really knock your block off. But apart from that, it's just business, get the job done, and then we move on to the next step.
But so you're undefeated. Doesn't that sometimes play a part in your mind, though? Like, I'm undefeated. There's, like you said, there's some, you know, dogs coming up behind you. Doesn't that kind of play a part in your preparation to motivate you?
Do you know what? When I'm training, what motivates me is, in my head, I build up a monster, a beast. Doesn't matter what people are telling me about, yeah, you're going to do him in this, you're stronger than him. Nope, in my head, I've built up a monster, and that's what motivates me. So when I'm coming to train, if I think I'm fighting just any little man, then how am I going to get myself up for that? I build myself a monster in my head. So when I'm training for this monster, and then when I get in the ring, that's who I'm fighting. So that's how I get through it.
So Lawrence Sasaki, former GB boxer, you know, he's been he's been a WSB boxer. You know, does that kind of weigh a little bit heavier on you, though? He had that massive amateur pedigree, or is he like just another person in the way of you getting that belt?
A bit of both. Like we said, I try and build that monster. So like you said, you know, GB, he had that, he's got that pedigree, he's undefeated as well, he's hungry like myself. He's not coming to just lie down, so that weighs a bit on me. But the fact that pros and amateurs is different. Like there's guys here that I've sparred when I was an amateur, and bloody hell, they were so good. And then as pros now, we've gone into the pros, and it's not the same. It's not the same. So I don't really weigh too much. I don't think too much about, oh yeah, he was this in the amateur. Don't get me wrong, I respect him, because to even get into that level, because I know I was an amateur and I know how hard it was to, you know, box at that level. So, but then again, amateurs and pros is different, and I know how much I've progressed. I'm looking forward to facing the best Azuki that come December 14th.
Come December the 14th, what can the fight fans expect from Danazeez? People that don't know you.
You can expect crash, bang, wallop, big shots, you know, yeah, body, hooks to the head, overhands, you know, Swip getting smashed off his face, everything, you know, couple knockdowns, you know. But you can expect excitement. I don't think this is going to be a dull fight, because I think our styles actually make for a good fight. He likes to keep it nice and long and rangy. I'm more of a come forward fighter, so I think our styles will gel. And if he doesn't want to keep it long and rangy, I think that'll make it even better. So yeah, expect a very good fight. Bring them Geordies down, you know, north of England versus south of England. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So expect a good fight, man. I'm expecting one. So yeah, I'm actually getting excited now.
I'm excited as well. Well, I'm so glad that we finally got to speak to each other. You know, I've watched your career. I really think you're going to do massive things. I cannot wait for next week. I'm so glad you're getting your chances as well. Fantastic the fact that you are taking everything into your own hands and just running with it. And I wish you all the luck. Thank you very much for giving us your time.
No, thank you for having me. And do you know what? It's people like yourselves, Shadowboxruk, all these social media platforms, that's what helps get my name out of there. So as much as you're thanking me for coming on here, I got to thank you, because it's you lot that push my name out there. People that watch your stuff, you know, how many people are going to watch this and think, oh, Dan, he's actually a cool guy, and then they jump on the Danazeez journey, and that's what makes that's what makes my following go up and stuff. So again, thank you so much for coming down, and really appreciate it. I'm sure we got a few more other stuff to do, but yeah, this is the beginning. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber of Shadowboxruk UK, we'd love to see you, so please go ahead and subscribe now.